Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 everybody. It's the Alter Ego Comics live sale. So pull up a chair, pull up a monitor, pull up a mobile device. Come hang out with me for a little bit as I go through this week's new releases. And there's a lot of good stuff this week. It's another good week for new comic books. Come on in and say hi. Hey, hey, hey. We got people right there, ready. At showtime. It is showtime. Glad to have y'all here tonight. Hope everyone's doing well. It's dark outside now. I remember, there was a time, not many months ago, when the sun was streaming in through the front windows, it was almost blinding. And now it's dark. It's dark and scary. All right, we're just getting things set up here. Thank you for your patience. Please stand by. Okay. Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Marissa and Mark, Tamara, Holly, Drew, Tony, Joshua, Michaela, Nathan, Jess is here, just browsing. Yes. Hey, yes, Heath, you need to get up here. Hello, Angie, watching from home. Hello, John. And Doug and Angela. Awesome. What a great group of people we have here tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. Or one of these things. I don't know what the word is for when you do this. They used to do it a lot in like 1930s, Little Rascals and the Munchkin Guild in the Wizard of Oz. There's got to be a name for what that move is. I just don't know what it is. Okay. We've got some great stuff coming up this week. It's a solid week for new releases. And we're just going to get right to it. Thanks for the thumbs up and the hearts. I just opened my Facebook screen and like this big balloon of hearts and thumbs just floated up. It was great. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We're going to duplicate what we did last week and use the picture-in-picture method of showing off the covers this week. Looks like it's a lot of regulars, so thank you for that. But just in case you happen to be new and maybe you're keeping quiet, maybe you're lurking, if this is your first sale, look for the pinned comment with a Google form link. Need you to fill that out if you're going to buy anything with us tonight. And the way to buy something, there's also a ticker rolling across the bottom of the screen that explains that. Type the word sold and then the name of the item, and I will verbally, audibly confirm your purchase. Okay, let's roll. These are all alphabeticals. That's the one change. Instead of going like single issues, graphic novels, manga, and then all ages stuff, it's alphabetical. So it's kind of fun. We're throwing everything in there. Hey, Owen, glad you could make it. Getting my screen ready to share those images. Oh, there it is. First item up for bid tonight is Amethyst. This is based on the Amethyst character from DC Comics, but it is an all ages book. It happens to be right behind me. This all ages, $10. Amaya, Princess of House Amethyst in Gemworld, is something of a troublemaker. She and her brother have great fun together until a magical prank goes too far and her parents ground her to Earth. Kind of like when Thor got banished to Earth. They hope a whole week in the mundane world will teach her that magic is a privilege, and maybe washing dishes by hand will help her realize the palace servants should be respected. 3 years later, Amy has settled into middle school and ordinary life. She doesn't remember any other home, so when a prince of the realm brings her home and restores her magical destiny, how will she cope? Amethyst, Princess of Gem World, is $10. Great for, everyone. Amethyst is a great story. And this is Shannon Hale, who's a fantastic writer. It's going to be great. Jess wants a copy. I have one copy left after that. Thank you, Jess. So much for browsing. Owen, we do not usually order compendiums because they just don't sell well for us on series like that. So if you would like the Outcast compendium, submit an order in Comic Hub, and I will gladly order a copy for you. Let's move on to, and I don't know what's coming up next. That's part of the exciting thing here. I hit the arrow on my keyboard, and what's there? Well, nothing yet. There we go. Batman, the Imposter, issue number 2. This is a 3-issue miniseries, I believe. Mattson Tomlin, Andrea Sorrentino, $6. Lots of you picked up Imposter number 1 when it came out last month. This is issue number 2. If you were late to the Batman the Imposter train, we still have copies of issue number 1. If you want to hop on that, $6 for each issue. Batman the Imposter 2 is out this week. We still have copies of number 1. Next up, ooh, look at that. Batman, Robin, and Howard by Jeff Brown. Jeff Brown, he who did the Jedi Academy books and many other things. So this is very much in that style of Star Wars Jedi Academy. This is an all-ages book. It is $10. Sidelined by Batman after a crime-fighting excursion goes wrong, Damian Wayne must learn how to live as an average kid. But life in his new school becomes more challenging than Damian expected when he meets his match and a rival named Howard. It's a funny story of rivalry, friendship, and mystery from best-selling author and illustrator Jeffrey Brown. Great all-ages story for all ages. That's what it means. When I say all ages, a lot of people just assume that means kids, but this can be enjoyed by everyone. Michaela would like a copy. Sold to Michaela. I have multiple copies available because based on Jeff Brown's track record and the Jedi Academy sales, I wanted to have enough. And let's see, Micah, let me see here, blah, 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 blah. Mark wants Imposter and to subscribe. And so does Micah. All right, next up, this manga book, the Exodrive Reincarnation Games. Recommended for 13 and up, it's $13. In the not so distant future, isekai is a way of life. I don't know what that means. The world has perfected how to hit an average teenager with a truck to launch them into a new world for a fantasy adventure. That sounds awesome. But once that's done, how do you keep it entertaining? Set up a televised tournament, of course. Roaring crowds can follow a chosen hero through his death, rebirth, and quest to save another world, armed with special tech for cheat skills, stat indexes, and whatever else is needed. Surely this is all in good fun, and no one would abuse this kind of reincarnation technology. Right? Right. Michaela, I did miss Amethyst for you. There it is, but I will grab it. If anyone else wants Amethyst, I will gladly order you a copy. And Scott wants Exodrive. That was my only copy. But again, I can order more. So if it sounded interesting, let me know and I will order you a copy. Scott, I got you covered. Next up, Junji Ito's Cat Diary, Collector's Edition. This is a standard size graphic novel, not a manga size, published by Kodansha. The master, it does read back to front like traditional manga, and it's by Junji Ito, the master of manga horror. And this is about, let's see here. Junji Ito presents a series of hysterical tales chronicling his real-life trials and tribulations of becoming a cat owner. Junji Ito, as Jay-kun, has recently built a new house and has invited his fiancée, Eiko, to live with him. Little did he know, his blushing bride-to-be has some unexpected company in tow: Jan, a ghastly-looking family cat, and Mew, an adorable Norwegian forest cat. Despite being a dog person, Jay-kun finds himself persuaded by their odd cuteness, and thus begins his comedic struggle to gain the affection of his new feline friends. If you're a Junji Ito fan, you probably want to check it out. There's the back here. His true life adventures of learning to live with cats that perhaps hate him, and he is perhaps not a fan of. This is $25. Again, it's kind of normal graphic novel size, hardcover. Junji Ito's Cat Diary. And Nick, the last manga was Exodrive, Volume 1, and I did sell out, but I can order a copy for you if you'd like. I'll bring it back on the screen real quick. That's it. Premise sounded kind of cool. Mighty Marvel Masterworks, The Incredible Hulk, Volume 1. This is collecting the first 6 issues of the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Incredible Hulk. This is a different cover. This is the direct market cover, which reprints the cover to issue number 1. $16. Collects Hulk 1 through 6. Those are the 6 issues. I guess Hulk issues were perhaps had a little more meat to them than some of the other ones. But you get to see, of course, the famous Gray Hulk appearing in Hulk number 1. Not intended to be gray, but there was an ink problem at the printer, which resulted in Gray Hulk to make his 1 issue appearance, because by issue 2 he was green, and then he went gray again. Sarah wants a copy. Nick wants to order Exodrive. Got you covered. Blah 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 blah. I have some more copies of the Hulk if anyone wants it. And Jess asks the question. I guess if anyone would know this answer, it would probably be me, but let's put it up there on the screen. My guess is as long as they're selling, Marvel will continue with this line. They also have announced a new partnership with Penguin Random House beyond their distribution partnership, where Penguin's going to be doing some exclusive hardcover collections, kind of a greatest hits for certain characters. I think they've announced Spider-Man, Captain America, and Black Panther so far. Those will be out in 2022. But yeah, these are fantastic. It's a great way to read the classic Marvel comics that cost bajillions of dollars now if you wanted to. The format's nice. I like the kind of digest size. And of course, the higher quality paper makes the colors pop. They're just super cool. So my hunch is as long as the line is supported, they'll keep making them, but that's not always the case. Yes, Tony, we do have, I believe, all 4 volumes of Umbrella Academy in stock. Can let Holly know. I can see volume 1 from here. So there are technically 3 volumes of Umbrella Academy. And then the 4th one is the, what's his name? The guy that can, what is this? Klaus. The 4th volume is a Klaus miniseries. And I know we have that. So we should have all 4 in stock. Next up, the most important comic book on Earth. Stories to Save the World. Wait a minute. The first name on here is Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais is writing comics. This is all about climate change, the global warming sort of thing. All kinds of short stories. Featuring stories by Judi Dench. Let me tell you, this is $30 and I have 1 copy. Dame Judi Dench, Brooklyn Beckham, Virginia McKenna Obey, Dacre Montgomery. Let's go to people's names I know. Andy Serkis, he of Gollum fame. Jeff Lemire. This is... Michaela wants to know if it's all ages. There is no indication of who this book is for. Taika Waititi has a story in here. Peter Gabriel, Jane Goodall, Robert Kirkman, Yoko Ono. Hers is just wailing uncontrollably. Alan Moore, Cliff Chang. It's a combination of things. Let's see if I can show. So some of it is true. That looks like David Mack. That is David Mack artwork. Some of it is traditional comic story. Like this looks like it might be a Jane Goodall story. Traditional panels. Here's another one with traditional panels. So these are going to be short stories that are in support of Greenpeace, World Land Trust, wildlife trusts, stuff like that. Let me find one by someone recognizable. Here's a black and white thing. Oh. So the Ricky Gervais thing is a 1-pager. This is the Ricky Gervais page. So I see that Michaela has used the magic words of sold most important. If anyone else wants a copy, let me know. I should be able to get it back in under 2 weeks. And somebody pre-ordered a copy. I don't remember who, but we pulled that aside for whoever pre-ordered it. Thank you, Michaela. Jess wants a copy. Okay, let's move right along. My Date with Monsters, issue number 1 from Aftershock, written by Paul Tobin, artwork by Andy McDonald. Issue 1 is $5. And this is a world, almost like a Monsters, Inc. sort of situation where the humanity has broken through to kind of the monster realm and with people's nightmares and tried to seal it up again, but people and or monsters keep poking holes in that wall, and monsters keep breaking through. And our main character is a woman who has like a guardian monster, kind of like Sully from Monsters Inc. And she also fights nightmares. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was an enjoyable first issue. I will show you our heroine if I can find a picture that doesn't give away too much. Well, here she's fighting some kind of crow, and it's good. And her guardian monster is this guy who's eating like a bad monster. But she has a daughter, and she's trying to live a normal life. And now the daughter is seeing nightmares during the day. It's interesting. Anyway, My Date with Monsters. If you're into monsters and dates, you may like it. $5. Next up, regarding the matter of Oswald's body. And that would be Lee Harvey Oswald. So our story opens in the year 1981, where the sheriff of a small Texas town is having the body of Lee Harvey Oswald exhumed because there are rumors floating around that it is not actually Lee Harvey Oswald. Then we jump to November 1963, where a guy named Frank is assembling an Italian job team to possibly find an Oswald lookalike. We don't really know what Frank is doing. This is from Boom Studios. It is $4. It is recommended for 13 and up. But the members of this team include a bank robber who can get into any bank, but has the worst luck because all of the banks he's robbing have like no money. And then we have a mechanic, an expert in cars, who wants to be the next Buddy Holly, and is of Latino background. We have a black woman who is what is her she's the getaway driver. No, she's not the getaway driver. What does she do? It's a great hodgepodge of people. And then we have the fourth person is an expert marksman, male in 1963, who's gay and has applied to the CIA 4 different times, and it keeps getting rejected. Frank knows this guy's secret, but also knows that he is a weapons expert. So this group of 4 is tasked with a job, and I don't want to give too much away, but if you like conspiracy theories, if you like action heist type stories, I think you'll like Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body. It's written by Christopher Cantwell, who is the current writer of Iron Man over at Marvel. Artwork by a person with one name, Casa Languida. That is a heck of a name. I don't know how you get named that, but sorry, that's his last name, Luca Casalanguida. Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body. Caitlin wants a copy. And Caitlin, I did get your message about Maneater's Cursed. I will get back to you tomorrow on that. Apologies for not getting back today. It's the problem with Facebook messages. You see them, it's like text messages too. You see that you get a text, you might be in the middle of something else, but if you don't respond instantly, you're going to forget about it until you go to look at your text messages again and realize, it's been 8 hours. I never responded to this person. Maybe that only happens to me. Nomex. This is a comic conceived of by John Leguizamo, the actor John Leguizamo, with some script assist by several different folks. I believe that most of the creators are of a Latin descent, and the main hero is of a Latin descent as well. First issue is $7. It is a meaty comic. It's a larger than normal first issue. This is being published by Todd McFarlane's studio. And for you trivia people, actor John Leguizamo, creator of Nomex, played Clown in the Spawn movie. Just in case you needed that little bit of trivia. I know some of you probably knew that already, but this is about a guy who develops superpowers in prison, and it goes from there. So you kind of know whether you want it or not. If you like John Leguizamo and his movies and his writings, then you should probably pick it up. Tamara wants a copy of Oswald's Body. I can do that. Next up, the graphic novel of Proctor Valley Road. This is from Boom Studios, suggested for mature readers. This is the brainchild of Grant Morrison, Alex Child, and Naomi Franquiz. Really liked the first issue, and then I decided to wait for the trade to read the rest of it. Like, we've got some pull quotes here. The Beat, which is a fantastic comics news site. It's really the only one I pay attention to. Invested in deep character development and a kind of horror world building that's dead set on going down a dark and bloody road to get at the heart of its story. That's from our friends over at The Beat. Candidate for the best new horror comic of the year, says comicbook.com. This is $20. Collects, I believe it's the whole miniseries. I think it ends with... It was 5 issues originally. It is a self-contained story. August, Riley, Cora, and Jenny have organized a spook tour with their classmates on the most haunted, demon-infested stretch of road in America to fund attending the concert of their dreams. Happens to be Janis Joplin. But when their visit turns deadly, these 4 friends race to rescue the missing students before the town tears them limb from limb. Now they must slay the evils roaming Proctor Valley Road, along with the monsters lurking in the hearts of 1970s America. This is pretty straightforward, Jess. I see your comment. I'll go ahead and put that on there. I am with you 100%. Most Grant Morrison stuff is either over my head or in one ear and out the other. It just doesn't click with me. But this one is more straightforward because I don't think he actually scripted it. I think that he came up with the concept, and there is someone assisting him. Yeah, Alex Child. He's a British screenwriter from Oxfordshire. So my hunch is that Morrison came up with the idea, and then Alex Child did the writing. So the writing is much more straightforward in this than in most Grant Morrison stuff. So Jess will try it. Jess, if you don't like it, send it back. Or just tell me, and we'll figure something out. Angela wants a copy too. Because I want people to like what they buy. That's important. I want you to like the stories you get. And that's why some of these I take a little more time with them, or I will flat out tell you how much I loved something. Not that everyone's going to have the same taste that I do, but I would much rather recommend a book that I think is good and have you be happy with it than have me artificially support something and then you get it and you don't like it and then you hate me and then you stop reading comics. Next up, Rick and Morty, Corporate Assets. This, I believe, is a, I don't know. Before I say what it is, I should probably check. I want to say one shot. It seems like they're doing one shots of this all the time. Nope, it's not a one shot. It's a mini series. Next issue's on sale next month. $4 for Rick and Morty Corporate Assets. You kind of know if you want it or not, if you're a Rick and Morty fan. One of these days I have to watch this show. One of these days. Probably when Jess gets around to reading Proctor Valley Road in 10 years. Caitlin wants a copy of Rick and Morty. Thank you, Caitlin. Ooh, you know what I should have started the broadcast with tonight? Oh, come on, Caitlin. You got to treat yourself. It was a horrible treat yourself. Sure. All right, Scott, I got you down for it as well. Subscribing and bullying the first issue. I should have started tonight's show by mentioning that we have not received all of this week's new releases yet. We've gotten like probably 85% of this week's new releases. Those of you that pay attention to comic news, which boggles my mind that it is a thing, one of the three major suppliers of comic books, Diamond Comics, got hit by a cyber attack last Friday, and it was a ransomware attack. So it screwed all of us up that rely on Diamond, and that would be for Image and Boom and IDW and Dynamite and Aftershock and Vault and lots of other publishers. We couldn't access their site to check inventory, to place orders, to do any of that fun stuff. And they also could not pull and pick our orders and generate shipping labels because they couldn't print pick lists that were accurate. But supposedly that's all in the past now, and we're looking at probably Friday to receive the balance of our new comic shipment. Again, it's only about 10 to 15% of new stuff, so I decided to go ahead with this anyway. And anything that shows up Friday, as long as we still have it in stock, I'll cover it on next week's show. So just some inside comics information there. It's nuts that a comic distributor is being hit with ransomware or a cyber attack. Good times, folks. Good times. But the important thing is we have awesome comics to talk about, like this one, Robin and Batman, issue number 1 of 3. This is a 3-issue miniseries written by Jeff Lemire, artwork by Dustin Nguyen. $6. It is a kind of a prestige format comic. It's traditional comic size, but it's kind of square bound. $6. Okay, let me start by saying this is my pick of the week. This is Alex's pick of the week. Alex and I have agreed on the last 2 weeks of picks of the weeks. Robin and Batman is a Robin story. It's told from the perspective of a young Dick Grayson, just as he's about to become Robin. He's going out on patrol with Batman. He's training, and he's coming up with the name of what his sidekick superhero name is going to be. He's coming up with a costume. But it's very much, it's got a little bit of an edge to it, like not quite as far as Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin, but Bruce and Batman, he's being like super strict and protective of young Dick Grayson getting out there. I think that this is going to be, I mean, we're only 1 issue in. It's only a 3-issue miniseries, but Jeff Lemire tells damn good stories, and Dustin Nguyen paints amazing artwork. All of this artwork is painted. So it's just like the cover. And if you're familiar with Dustin Nguyen's artwork, he did Detective Comics many, many years ago. And then he did Lil Gotham. But, you know, it's drawn and then it's painted, and it's just, man, it's beautiful. Here's a great page to look at. So if you are a fan of Batman, this is a must-buy. If you're a fan of Dick Grayson Robin, this is a must-buy. It is so, so good. Again, 3-issue miniseries. I think it's going to go down as a great Robin story that will be around for a long time. So let's see who we've got here. We've got Mark wants to pull it and subscribe. Tamara does. Micah. John. Jonathan Hanover. And Owen wants the 1 in 10 variant, which is our last copy. Anyone is interested, we do have the 1 in 50 variant for $40. I have one of these left. Let's see here. Tony wants to subscribe. And Doug and Owen. Okay. Now I've made a list. Now I have to physically pull these things. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm curious. I will ask this question here. Do you prefer mini-series or ongoing series? It's kind of a loaded question. But something like this, would you rather see it as a standalone miniseries or as 3 issues in Batman, say? And figure that out while I pull these issues. So that was Mark, camera. Micah, John. Hanover, Turner, Derringer, okay, Jim asked, did I get Mark? I got Mark Salvaggio, yes. Mark is covered. Let's see what kind of response we got here. Many, you know what? I'm gonna take a tally here. This is an informal poll. This is like a Harris poll. I don't know what they. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, by a vote of 10 to 1 and 1 I don't care, miniseries wins. And you know what? I think I'm in that boat too. I think it makes sense. Let the creator who came up with the idea come in, tell the story that they want to tell, and then it's done. And if someone has a massive story to tell, somebody like a Brian Michael Bendis or a Scott Snyder or a James Tynion, then yeah, they can do an ongoing. So technically, Jess wants to know what makes a maxi series. So in days gone by, a maxi series would be like a 12-issue miniseries. So Dark Knights of Steel is a 12-issue series. Doomsday Clock was a 12-issue series. Those would have been considered maxi series back in the day. So anything, usually a miniseries was like 6 issues or less, and a maxi series was 7 to 12 issues. Yeah, the Tom King formula is what Owen says. Most of Tom King's recent output has been maxi series like Rorschach and Mr. Miracle and the new book that I loved last week that no one else loved, Human Target. Okay, let's move on. But thank you, everyone, for chiming in. It's very interesting because a lot of the feedback I get is from other retailers. So to hear consumer feedback on this is helpful to me. It won't result in more or less miniseries because I don't have that power. Sorry. Next up, a sleepover. Dun, dun, dun. A suspenseful thrill ride for all ages. So this is recommended for ages 8 to 12. The pull quote on the top. Yeah, the guy that created an amulet says it's a suspenseful thrill ride. Yeah, thrill ride for all ages, which means that Angie's going to want to read this because she loves Amulet. When the Russo family returns home from vacation to discover their nanny, Ruby, has unexpectedly passed away, Matthew takes the news the hardest. After weeks of reeling, his three best friends decide to cheer him up with a night of junk food, prank calls, and scary movies. God, those were the days. But their plans for an epic sleepover are jeopardized when Matt's single mother, unable to take any more time off from work, is forced to hire a new nanny on the spot to watch over Matt and his younger sister, Judy. Miss Swan, however, is all too happy to have the boys over. She actually seems like the perfect babysitter, letting the kids eat whatever they want and mostly leaving them alone. But there's something about her Matt doesn't trust. He even begins to fear she could be the witch from local legend. Is he just having a hard time dealing with Ruby's passing, or are Matt and his horror buff friends in for the fright of their lives as they come face to face with a real monster? $13 for Sleepover. Michaela wants a copy. I have several copies of Sleepover. Looked like it was going to be a winner. And when the creator of Amulet is the pull quote on the cover, that usually means it's good. Next up. Oh, well, I only have one copy of this left. This is Grim Tales of Terror Quarterly Bachelorette Party. 72 pages from Zenescope at the cost of $9. $9 for Grim Tales of Terror Quarterly Bachelorette Party. One copy left. We had more earlier. Ooh, Jess jumps in and snaps up Grim Tales of Terror Quarterly Bachelorette Party. That is a long title. If anyone else wants a copy, I can try and order more, so let me know in the comments. And we'll move on to The Thing, issue number 1. I believe it is of 5. It is a 5-issue miniseries. This is written by Walter Mosley, artwork by Tom Riley. It is a new story from a classic era. So this is kind of late 60s Fantastic Four, but with some modern stuff. It's actually Lee Bermejo with the cover there, the writer and artist on Batman Noel, Jess. So 5-issue miniseries involving the supernatural and what it was like to be Ben Grimm the Thing in the somewhat early days of the Fantastic Four. So this is actually a variant cover, and I ordered the variant because I liked it better than the regular cover. In fact, we only had one copy of the regular cover for the stands, and someone bought it, but I think the Bermejo cover is the clear winner here. Jason over on YouTube wants a copy of The Thing. We can do that. Yeah, it is a cool cover. And the story's solid too. Wasn't my favorite this week, but who doesn't love Ben Grimm? Scott wants The Thing and to subscribe. Next, more Zenescope fun. Van Helsing, Return of the League of Monsters. This is a 2-issue miniseries. I really like what Zenescope is doing with their miniseries. And I'm gaining more confidence in some of their writers. And this is one of them. Pat Shand is the writer on this, and he's also the writer of, Destiny New York. From Black Mask, I believe it is. I'm really enjoying Destiny New York. So I will try some more stuff by writer Pat Shand. 2-issue series, 32 pages, $6. Man, my eyes suck. $6 for this first issue of Van Helsing, Return of the League of Monsters. Jess wants a copy. I'm going to put up this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Put this in here. Zenescope truly does tell great stories. For the longest time, I was just put off by the Cheesecake TNA covers and stuff involved with Zenescope. But when you read the stories, and it's not like the comics are R-rated. They're not even R-rated. They're PG-13. They're really good. They're good. So Jess wants Van Helsing and wants to subscribe. Yeah, and I don't dislike the art. Don't get me wrong, but as a parent and as a comic retailer, I think for a long time, Zenescope was considered like going into the adult section of the video store, but they aren't. It's not that. It's just beautiful art and solid storytelling. Marissa, I will check on that. I know somebody subscribed to it, but if you don't have a copy, Marissa, I'm going to go ahead and put one in your file, your rolling file over here. And if you need it, we will pull it. Next up, Venom is back. Venom #1 is $6. And I truly enjoyed this comic. I am not a huge Venom fan, but I try and read every first issue so I can give you my 2 cents. Venom is written by both Al Ewing, who crushed it on the Immortal Hulk, and Ram V, who is killing it on Swamp Thing right now. Artwork through the whole story is Brian Hitch, and it's one story, but you've got 2 characters that we're following. We're following Dylan Brock, the son of Eddie Brock, who is now Venom. And Eddie Brock is now the King in Black. And he has some new abilities. One of Eddie's new abilities is that he can kind of send his consciousness into any symbiote in the universe. So there's a cool scene in here where he's kind of leading a group of 4 symbiotes on a rescue mission. Some alien spacecraft sent out an SOS, and Eddie goes out to tackle it as the King in Black. So I was pleasantly surprised. This is my runner-up for pick of the week. This is my #2 this week, is Venom #1. $6 for #1. Let's see what we got here. We got Micah wants a Venom. And Jason, Tamara, and Scott. I have 1 copy of Venom left. And for Venom, we got some subscribers here. Scott wants to subscribe. If anyone else wants to subscribe, Micah, Jason, Tamara, let me know so I get you. All right, Marissa, I'll make sure that you're subscribed to Van Helsing. And I got all those sub requests. Micah, Tamara, Jason, you are all set with your subscribe requests. We're nearing the end of the new releases. And This is What's the Furthest Place from Here? Just doing a quick check of my email and my Twitter, because I sent writer Matthew Rosenberg a message earlier today to see if I could get him on the broadcast tonight, but I have not received a reply. I imagine he's super busy because this was a huge launch for him and Image Comics. What's the Furthest Place from Here? Issue number 1, $5. It is a massive, this was probably the biggest regular issue for $5 this week. It is a post-apocalyptic story involving a group of teenagers who something may or may not happen to them as they cross the threshold into adulthood. And they're living in a record store, and music and records play kind of a big part in their lives at this point. I enjoyed it. There really is no but. The but is, I think it's going to take a couple issues to hit the ground and to really sink its teeth into you. But I'm a huge fan of Rosenberg's writing. I don't think I've made a secret of that. I mean, he worked in a comic store. He's a comic book fan. He does whatever he can do to help comic stores sell his books, which is fantastic. And I like his writing style. So that's my reason for liking the book, is it just reads really well. I like the artwork too. I think the artwork's by Tyler Boss, and the artwork really fits the story. So if you're looking for a new independent book that involves an uncertain future and music and teen angst, then What's the Furthest Place from Here is right up your alley. So we got Jess and Caitlin and Mark Howell on there. Excellent. I think you're going to enjoy it. I did. All right. That is the last comic for tonight, I think. Take a quick look. All right. We do have a new Marvel Select action figure. This is the WandaVision version of the Scarlet Witch from Diamond Select Toys. $30. Multiple heads, multiple hands, multiple hex blasts that you can pose Wanda with. This is a pretty cool figure, if I do say so myself. The Marvel Select WandaVision Scarlet Witch is $30. That's actually Elizabeth Olsen. That's not a picture of the figure. Okay, last call to bring back anything that I went through earlier tonight. Jim asked if he missed the Star Wars. There were no Star Wars books for the stands this week. They are pull only at this point. But Jim, you can subscribe to any Star Wars book you like. We'll hold them for you every time they come out. You just need to pick them up at least once every 30 days. Brian, I have no copies of Action Comics left. Action is down to subscribers only. So if you'd like to subscribe, just let me know. Caitlin, your Lore Olympus hardcover is part of that missing 10 to 15% from Diamond that we don't have yet. And hopefully we'll have it on Friday. Jess thinks that the Pops need to get off those ships in the Pacific. I've seen so many great memes about stuff being stuck on ships and read so many sad stories about how messed up the shipping situation is and the supply chain at this point. No new Pops. At this point, I don't have my invoice for next week. Diamond usually sends me my invoice a week in advance, but because of their technical difficulties, I have not seen what's coming in next week yet. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some Pops in soon. Oh, John wants to know if I'm going to do a video version of our Black Friday sale. It's possible. Depends on how busy we are in the store. If we hit a lull, I may hop on here to sling some stuff. But we are going to do in the store. We just posted the event on our Facebook page today. There'll be a bunch of half off stuff, half off back issues, half off trade paperbacks, half off select games, half off select trade paperbacks, I should say, half off select action figures and collectibles. So yeah, we're gonna open the entire the Live at the Lab, which is our performance space in the back. That's going to become the back issue cave that day. So we can actually put out all of our back issues because we don't have enough space on the store floor to get all of our back issues out and not create a mobility issue. So we're going to put all of our back issues in the back issue cave on Black Friday and possibly Small Business Saturday. Still figuring that out. John wants a Michigan exclusive. I'll see what I can do. And Jess wants a West Virginia exclusive. I'll do my best. If we're good, I'll pull out some stuff and try and make it worth everyone's while. So we're not opening any earlier. We're opening at noon on Black Friday. We'll be open noon until 8. We've learned over the years that there's really no reason to open early because everyone is usually going to the big box stores on Black Friday, and then they get around to smaller retail later in the afternoon. So we're not opening earlier, 12 to 8 on Black Friday. But before we get to Black Friday, I will be back next Wednesday for our regularly scheduled live sale with a bunch of new stuff and whatever shows up Friday as part of our missing shipment. So thank you for hanging out with me tonight, for shopping with us, for supporting comic shops, for reading comics, for being just great people. You're just great people. So yeah, Nathan wants special Purple Feet drinks on Black Friday. That's possible. I'll have to talk to the ladies over at Purple Feet and see what they can do, but not impossible. Or just come out, have a few drinks, do some shopping. Anyway, I'm going to head home. Everyone have a fantastic night. Stay safe, be well, and I'll see you next week if I don't see you sooner here at Alter Ego.